Ever since getting into FPV, I've obsessed over the Sub250 category. I've tried lots of the most popular drones, and there really wasn't as many back then as there is now. Still, I found myself disappointed. I found that lots of these drones were not very compatible with each other. You have electronic companies that are making frames for their electronics instead of really having like art happen. Think about a car that drives, and then think about a Formula One. The aerodynamics, the balance, the tuning, just getting everything perfectly. And you'll hear people say, you know, just get anything and fly it. That's going to be what makes you better. That can be true, but there are limits. Take a race car driver, you put him in a little Nissan and they can do a great job, but they're limited by the vehicle. When you fly drones and you have something that flies like crap, it's going to be harder for you to learn. You're going to be limited by the drone, by the frame, by the way it feels. You fly something with a bad tune, then you fly something with a good tune, you can feel the difference, even though some people will say that doesn't matter. I've obsessed over these things, and I have a Sub250 masterclass coming eventually where we're going to go over everything. But today, I'm going to teach you how to build a great discus bind and fly. After 3 years of experimenting with all these different things, if there's one drone that I could have, it'd be the Great Discus. You can build it as a pusher. You can stick a naked GoPro on it. You can build it as a digital. You can put DJI in it. You can have a HG Zero with the 90 cam and have your little race thing. Much better than a tiny trainer. You have the 03. You have the Crux 35 transfer. So you can just take a Crux 35, transfer it over, and have something much stronger, much better center of gravity, wonderfully. Pushers. It's just designed in a way that you can use smaller motors, bigger motors, toilet tank, battery on top, battery underneath. You can do whatever you want with it. The biggest problem is it's tight.
Get it right, get it right, get it tight.
It's a difficult build. So there are frames out there that are like big, like the AOS 3.5. You can shove anything in it. You have 2 stacks, you have lots of room. You can do that. With this, you have to think about your build. You have to really it's difficult. It's tight. But it's about 20 grams lighter than all the other 3.5 builds out there. It's lighter, it's stronger, it takes a beating, and it protects your motors, because we got nice bumpers that actually protect the motors and the frames. Well, now this is available for the first time ever. I've built drones for people and stuff, but I've always kind of used different parts. But now you can get a bind and fly, get these exact parts, exact prints, and be able to put it together yourself if you follow my instructions. So this is like a build along video, or I can build it for you. The DIY kits are around $300 American. For me to build it for you, about $400 American. There's still a few things, right? Like if you want to get some extra props, or if you want like battery straps. I haven't figured out battery straps yet. But all the other parts and stuff we got, and then there'll be little things that you can pay a little more if you need, or you can save a few bucks if you have some of the parts yourself. And I'm willing to figure that out and work with you. Just shoot me a message on Discord, and we will figure it out. The Discord and the website are down below, and I'll have this stuff up there eventually. But let's go and build the first bind and fly premium analog discus. I'll show you everything as we're building it. Yeah. I have a universal mount now. You can put any nano camera on these, and then if you have a different size camera, I can make you like a protective bumper thing so that you can adjust the angle and do that. This is nice for beginners, but if you know what angle you like to fly at, I have fixed angle mounts, and these are good for the Ant camera. They're good for any of the DJI nano cameras or the Walk Snail nano cameras. I just love the way that looks and the way it feels, and just no screws. It's just pressure fit perfectly. That's how I like to have it. And this one's like a 20 degree, and I love having a fixed angle. And if you have a camera I have, or you send me your camera, I'll design a fixed angle just for you, just like that, custom and beautiful, because that's what we like, custom and beautiful. This is a very special build. It's for one of our subscribers who just discovered me randomly online. His name's Amperi Laboob. I got him into FPV, he started flying The Sims, he ordered some Sky Zones. Now we're building him a custom, beautiful drone from some random guy, Metal 9. We're going to start preparing our SpeedyB receiver. Now, SpeedyB receiver is a great budget receiver, but it's not always built the best. We're going to make up for that. E6000ing it, because see the thing, you can smack it and this component here might fall off or get messed up. So that's the one we're kind of worried about the most. So we're just going to put some E6000 on there and we're going to prepare it. SpeedyB, come on, make some, like, I don't know, code them or something. And you can do this with all and any of your electronics. You can just put some E6000 on it. You put this on your cameras, you put this on anything you want to waterproof and whatever. Okay, that should be enough. So we're going to kind of just spread it and have like a little coating of E6000. And that's going to take your budget receiver and make it a premium one. It worked so nicely on the last one. You just don't want to block your UFL connector. Beautiful. Okay, that's one side. Let's do the other one. Yeah, if you don't want to get like the waterproofing crap, you can use E6000. Very nice, beautiful. I like these, the Happy Model EP2s, but it's just the EP1s give you a little bit more range, and we're good. So let's do that. That's going to start hardening. We're going to be fine. We got our soldering iron. I like to run it 400 and try and be a little bit quick. We got some flux, so we're going to flux up the connectors and just prepare them. Okay, we did that. I don't like to stick the thing through the hole because then after it seems to get bent anyways. So I just kind of solder everything kind of flat down. I have a soldering tutorial for beginners or for anyone. You can watch the soldering tutorial. It's in my beginner playlist. Oh, I have this sucky thing. It's gonna suck. And yeah, sorry, it's noisy, but it makes things better. I also have a video for shopping, like a buyer's guide, and it has links to this, or it shows you how you can get all the stuff I use, like the soldering, whatever, or the NCI shake. So if I can do this shaking, anyone can. We got our ground. Now, and the nice thing with this is that the all-in-one that we're going to be using, it gives you one of these and they're lined up perfectly, so you can solder it just like that. Ground. Nice. 5 volt. Okay. TX, RX. The TX goes to the RX goes to the TX. Okay. We want these joints to all be nice and strong because we don't want them falling off. We don't want to come back or anything. Everything's going to be wonderful and last us forever. Now that's going to dry for a bit. As that's drying, and you do want to do that, it just gives you that extra assurance. Now we're going to go to our all-in-one. The all-in-one is the SkyStars. It's an F405. It's better than the SpeedyB cheap one. It has an M6000 gyro on it. That's one of the things that I really like about it. Got the M6000 on there. You got 45 amps. It's made for a little 5-inch, but we're putting it on a 3.5, so it's overkill. But I kind of like that. Same thing with the VTX. We got a 1.6 watt VTX, but we'll run it at half of that most of the time. I never put it at full power, and I just find that that's a better way to, you know, the electronics aren't running at their limits. They're just doing their thing and they're happy. So you can push them as far as you want because they're made for something even more powerful, right? Get some flux on our VTX pads. So this is where we're gonna put in the VTX. And then we have camera pads there too, and we can use that. It's not too much soldering. It's a nice amount. Enough to make you feel like you did something.
Are you having fun?
Oh, it doesn't want to sit on the pad. Come on. There we go. Oh. This is a better solder. I think that was a bad solder. Yeah, there's a difference between better solder. Okay, I thought the same. See, better solder melts easier and sticks better. Worse solder, it takes longer, doesn't stick, and you're overheating everything. There. Here we get a little lesson in solder quality. The VTX, ground 5-volt cam. Okay, so we got the cam, TX, VTX, 5 volts, and ground. So now you can tin the 5 volt, the ground, and the cam there at the bottom, and you can use those. Plug it into the VTX first, and then cut the other side. Okay, now for these, I use my nails. My nails are abnormally long right now, and I should have cut them, but it actually makes things a little bit easier to build. There we go. So we got our 14s, we're going to stick them through, and we're going to put a nut. Instead of a golden nut, it's a silver nut, because I like silver more than gold. Two more. You don't need to have your camera on first, I wouldn't do that, but it's already there. I think you could understand how to put the camera on and how to screw in the standoffs. Otherwise, you definitely shouldn't even bother. Very nice. Okay, here we go. Beautiful. Using 1504s, I also have 1304s. 1304s will get you longer flight times. They're also a bit more expensive. So these ones, to me, better value, better power. Yeah. Now, even though this frame can take motors with 12mm mounts, 9mm are the way to go, and now we have 1504s with a 9mm mount. If you use the 12mm mounts, you will not have the wires lined up with the frame. It'll still work, but they won't be lined up. So that's part of why I switch motors. Plus, my old motors are great, but they're not Unibel. I found better ones, right? You find better ones, you want to use better ones. Yeah, look at that. You get beautiful motor protection. So now we're going to cut all these. I used to make them as tight as possible, but now I like to leave them a little bit loose. Because when your drone hits, you want it to be able to give a bit. now we have the cap. We're going to put this through. And we're going to put the cap in. And like everything, it's nice and tight.
Get it right, get it right, get it tight.
It's going to be like that. We're not going to have a super long cord. And let it give just a bit. And cut it right. There. And cut this one right there. Now I'm going to take a X-Acto knife and cut. Okay, you gotta be careful. There we go. There we go. And flex this up. Flex that up. Always make sure the line on the capacitor is the ground. So you always want to make sure that's lined up. Now we got a nice pressure thing. We got our battery in good. Okay. Now. Okay, now we're gonna take the tips off all of these. The nails will do a great job. So now we flux everything. We go through steps. We follow the steps. We do it to all of them. And then it's just like, instead of doing one by one, it's like a little batch. I forgot to tin. Very good. The last part. Plug in the VTX. Oh, and then these too. Okay, so where's our antenna? We got our antenna. Put our antenna inside the cap. Now we gotta double-sided tape this to the top and make sure it's all beautiful. Oh, so tight. Only one connection. This is one of my favorite things to do. Very nice. And the glue hasn't totally cured, so that'll just make it all extra nice. Now this is going to have to plug into here. Very nice. This is going to come around and go over here. Actually, we'll figure that out after. You have to spread this apart and then push first. There's two of these, okay? So you want to take the one with the points sticking up, then you want to put that at the bottom. And then you want to take this, spread the legs, and shove yourself inside. And it's tight, okay? Nice and tight. Now we're gonna figure this out before we tighten everything. This is gonna go... It's gonna go in here. We are gonna cut a little bit of this off. Needs to be able to give. Okay. And then this. I'm just figuring out placement. And then this is going to go around through this. Head into. Yeah, baby. Okay, here we go. You gotta place this the right way to stick it on the top. This is one of the trickiest parts. But that should be good. Cut this shielding off altogether. Now if you want to make this easier, you put it on an 18, but I like it in 15. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, we're gonna pull that down. Yeah, the shielding doesn't work. Too tight. That's fine. I just have to figure this out. Okay, so I ran the wire through by unplugging it. Now I'm going to replug it. Like I've warned many times, my builds are tight. One of the pins got bent. There we go. This out of the way. Just push that in. I believe that's right. Now look at the wiring diagram. I'm gonna turn this. I'm gonna zip tie it, or I could tape it here. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's tape it up. No, let's plug it in. Smoke stopper. Yeah, why not? Yeah, baby.
What a wonderful day!
We got video. We got everything. Everything's on. Yeah. We want it tucked in. We don't want it to be stretching the cords. Yeah, okay, what's the weight? What is the weight? All up weight? 183 with the battery. This is a beefier build, I guess. 127. It does feel substantial. Yeah, baby. Beautiful. It's done.